Ancient Bronze Age temple of Dilmun civilization discovered on Failaka Island. The discovery of a Bronze Age temple dating back nearly 4,000 years to the Dilmun civilization on Failaka Island. The contribute towards Pan-Arab Development Plan letters NCCAL works over a number of initiatives and projects that will be instrumental in pushing forward the strategy, which mainly entails the protection of the region's cultural identity. PhD in Architecture, University of Wisconsin, Milwaukee, May 2009, participated in UWM program to promote international cultural awareness in the Milwaukee School District, presented to the grade school students. Let's all welcome Dr. Mohammad Aljassar, Acting Secretary General of the National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters. Dr. Mohammad, it's really a pleasure to have you with us in Good Morning Kuwait.
Good morning to you, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Dr. Mohammad, definitely, you know, I met you earlier in the Expo 2025 in Osaka, Japan, and it was really an honor, and definitely your presence there had its impact. So, Kuwait has emphasized the role of economy in achieving the goals of Kuwait Vision 2035. So how does NCCAL see culture and creativity contributing to national development and shaping a more sustainable future for the country?
First of all, thank you, and it's an honor to be here again, and it's an honor to have met you also in Osaka. I think Kuwait achieved an amazing pavilion in Osaka.
Absolutely.
Back to your question, it's a perfect question. At the National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters, right now we are working and focusing on creative economy sector, and we established the new department with a new structure of the organization. We have a new department that's dedicated totally to the creative economy, or creative industry. And when we look at Kuwait Vision 2035, it aligns very well with that vision. We have so many assets in Kuwait, so many tangible and intangible assets that we can capitalize on to promote it as for creative industries and for cultural industries that would also help in developing one of the most important visions of opening Kuwait as a cultural tourism destination. So if you're looking at archaeological sites, if we're looking at historic buildings, if we're looking at the creative minds of young Kuwaitis, how can we provide a platform for them so that they can stand up and start to work on their ideas? We see a lot of times young Kuwaitis start their own businesses and then they go international very soon and very fast, and we are very proud of that. How can we capitalize on this and then make sure that while they go international, they also stay in Kuwait? To emphasize to strengthen the economy of Kuwait, and that's where it aligns with the.
Indeed, that's definitely one of the really main things to be more raise more awareness about. You know, how to let everybody be independent, especially business-wise and also project-wise, and between local and international. So as Kuwait advances its national development agenda, how the NCCAL strengthening cooperation across government entities, the private sector and civil society to integrate culture into broader economic and social policies? Perfect.
So in order to achieve what we just discussed, the creative economy sector, and to make it a national agenda, we cannot work independently. It's, the National Council, I always, emphasize that the National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters is not the creator of culture, but it's the supporter of culture. So what we have to do, exactly, we preserve and supporter of culture. So what we have to do, we have to look at who are the generators of culture, whether in the civil societies or in the private sector or the government institutions. And for us, the role should be as a supporter to these agencies. So we started in the process of having a lot of MOUs with different sectors of society, as well as joint programs. And we are very proud that we started that with the private sector, which is an important partnership that we have to establish. And the future of Kuwait cannot be done without engaging private sector as well as civil societies. So I'm going to just mention a couple of examples, maybe that, for example, with the Sadu House. It's a part of a civil society organization, but we are very proud of our collaboration with them, and we consider them part of us. But you know, it's a private, I shouldn't say private, it's a civil society organization. Also, Dar al-Athar Islamiyya, a private collection, one of the best Islamic collection of Islamic artifacts in the world. It was established by Sheikh Nasser Sabah al-Ahmed, Allah yarhamah, and his wife Sheikh Hissa, Allah yahfadha. And that kind of partnership, for example, with Al Sabah collection, is very important for us, because if we bring that collection into the light, it's a private collection, but then we're hosting it at our museums. Then it's a joint venture between us and the private sector, or between us and the civil societies. So this is where we're heading. We cannot work independently. We're not in isolation, and we have to be part of the society, and we have to engage with the society.
Speaking, Dr. Mohammed, about the artifacts and also the antiquities, and it's been recently discovered something new in Bahra 1.
Yes.
So tell us about this and its impact.
So Bahra 1 as well as Faylaka, but Bahra 1 is one of the oldest sites of Kuwait. Right now it's dating back to 7,700 years ago.
7,000 years.
And it's, excuse me, it belongs to the Al-Ubaid civilization and the same period. The fact, the recent discoveries, which is, to be honest, it started over 15 years ago. At that time, Dr. Sultan Duish was in charge of these discoveries. But the recent discoveries is a continuation of what was already discovered. But it emphasizes one important thing, that the settlement that existed in Kuwait, it wasn't just a regular settlement, it was a developed settlement, because they discovered new proofs that pottery was being made here. Beads, so the crafts and the arts and crafts temples, existed 7,000 years ago in the Bahra. Temples, we found a lot of temples, of course, in Faylaka, which is 4,000 years ago, but Bahra is more 7,000 years ago. And these discoveries indicate that the settlement that existed in Kuwait over 7,000 years ago did have some cultural dimension as well as developed society. And of course, this is where an indication of that we might be able to discover more settlements in the north of Kuwait.
Could this be in the near future that these sites are like tourist sites?
That's the aim that we are working on right now, and there are some plans of trying to open some of the sites for touristic. There are a couple of things that are important to keep in mind. You need to secure the site for future generation. So once we secure the site and once it's been remedied and preserved, then you can open it to the public so that they can access it. But this is very important. Without opening these sites to the public, we will not be able to promote it, but also encourage the creative, not the creative, I'm sorry, the cultural tourism that we're talking about. So Faylaka Island, Sabbiya, and many other sites are part of our strategy to align it with the cultural tourism that His Excellency the Minister of Information is working on.
Dr. Abdurrahman.
Yes.
Dr. Mohammad Aljassar, the Kuwait Towers were recently recognized as the icon of modern architecture in the Arab world. What does this recognition signify for Kuwait national identity, and how can such heritage landmarks inspire contemporary cultural and architectural development?
Perfect. when Kuwait Towers, the concept of Kuwait Towers, when it was first
yeah, it was really
born
first in
the region,
yeah,
it was associated with the water supply system. And we were pioneered in being innovative so that we become independent with fresh water. And it's a symbolic, it's very important symbolic aspect or symbolic image of how Kuwait became self-sufficient when it comes to fresh water, as well as we were pioneer in the region in terms of bringing the best architects around the world. And it's an iconic image of what we call now modern heritage. So for those who are listening to us, modern heritage ended some years ago. But we were pioneer in the region of bringing modern heritage or bringing modern building, that now we call it modern heritage. So the Kuwait Towers is also on the tentative, hopefully the tentative list of the UNESCO World Heritage, and we are planning to make sure that it enters the World Heritage recognition. That once we achieve that, once we put the Kuwait Towers on the World Heritage with the UNESCO, then we bring up or we elevate the level of cultural tourism again of Kuwait. A lot of sites around the world, tourists go to it because it's registered in the World Heritage. We're working on that. We're working on securing the buffer zone, and we're working on the file.
Definitely, God willing, we need that, because you know we have a huge history. You know, a lot of people, not just Kuwaiti citizens. You see, GCC citizens too. They are associated with Kuwait Towers. You know, everybody comes to Kuwait, and definitely he has a picture in his childhood, or you know.
The silhouette of the design, the silhouette of the towers is so iconic that all you need to see is the lines of the towers, and you know it's Kuwait.
It's Kuwait.
I mean, it became synonymous with the word Kuwait.
Indeed.
So anywhere in the world, when you see it, you know this is Kuwait.
Exactly.
There is no replica for it. There's no any. It's very unique design. We're very proud of it.
Thank goodness, definitely that was really brilliant, you know, idea back then. When we say the Kuwait Towers, when we say cultural heritage, definitely we're talking about, you know, source of innovation and economic asset. So how can Kuwait harness its tangible and intangible heritage to diversify the economy and support creative industries? Is it feasible in other words?
It is feasible, but we have to plan it properly. We have to provide the opportunities for the younger generation. We have to also understand what are they good at and what are they looking for and what opportunities they need or what opportunities that we can provide for them. And I'm going to bring one small example. We started about 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago, with what we call Kuwait National Challenge for gaming, game development. And right now this year, or within a couple of months, we'll have the 3rd season of it. And it's amazing that when this program started 3 years ago, so many young creative minds that are interested in gaming. And gaming is a very strong and powerful industry around the world right now, you know, video gaming. Right now we have a whole group of young Kuwaitis who are eager to just go international, develop their games, and we've showcased their outcome in the avenues about 5-6 months ago. And hopefully in the next about 2 to 3 months from now, they will go to Al-Jahra, and we will have another showcase in Al-Jahra of what they have developed. What we do, we take them for about 10 days. We provide them with all the technical supports they need, and just give them the freedom. All they need is the freedom to develop. And what you end up with, such beautiful games that can go international. And this is something that we have to tap on. This is something that we have to capitalize on. This is creative, and this is culture. And then you're talking
trending.
And it's trending. So this is part of the culture. And when we're talking about culture, and as well as when you're talking about heritage, we have so much in our heritage that we can save, preserve for future generations. But in the process of saving and preserving, we also can promote it as a showcase for others to see, to others to appreciate. So
Indeed.
it's all about how we package it, it's all about how we market it, and it's all about what's the story, what's the narrative. If we create a proper narrative for the tourist, if we come to a tourist, coming to Kuwait, what are they expecting to see in Kuwait? What's the story that we can tell them about Kuwait?
I see.
And what is exciting in the landscape of Kuwait?
So it takes little tweaks here and there.
Of course, it's a tweaks, but it's a tweaks that brings, it's, you know what, it's like a gem, it's like a diamond that has a lot of dust. All you need is to shine it, is to clean it up and shine it and uncover it. And this is all what we need to do with Kuwait. We have the assets, but we need to know how to bring it up to the surface.
Indeed, indeed. Dr. Mohammad Aljassar, unfortunately, I'm out of time, and it's a beautiful conversation, and honestly, I would like to go on and on, but unfortunately, we are out of time. I wish, if you have any last message you want to convey for...
I just like to thank Kuwait TV for this opportunity, and I just want to say that we at the National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters are in the process of opening up more and more toward the younger generation. We want to connect with the younger generation, and we want to provide to them the proper platforms so that they can move forward, and they are the next leaders of Kuwait. So all the best to them, and anybody who is interested in the National Council, please come and join us. Please come and give us any opinion. We are, the doors are open for any ideas and opinions.
With open arms, Dr. Mohammad Aljassar, stated his message for you, and he's there always, and going to be a great listener if you have anything. Thank you very much, Dr. Mohammad Aljassar, Acting Secretary General of the National Council for Culture, Arts and Letters. Wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Dear viewers, next we'll go for a break, and after that we'll be back.